back to the military tag. So the first question on the military tag is, how did you and your spouse meet? Well, I'm glad you asked. We met at a gas station. He's already told you guys how we met. I was at a gas station pumping my gas. I had completed pumping my gas, and I went into the store because I think I wanted to get something like a candy bar or something I don't really remember possibly talk about. So I liked his approach, and he eventually got the digits. How old were you two when you first met? We were young. Not that young, but we were young. We're still young. So, yeah, we were young. Currently and still young. Where are you and your spouse from? I am originally born and raised in Mobile, Alabama. It's not too far from Gulf Shores, if you know about that. And he is originally from Danville, Virginia. So that's where we are from. How long have you and your spouse been married? We got married March 19th, 2016 of this year. But we were together for a while. Not like super long, but long enough, you know, like the cutoff limit of dating someone. You know, not 5 years, not 10 years, not, you know, it was, yeah. That's my dog chasing his tail. But I really didn't have a opinion about him, you know, joining the military because he was already in the military before I met him. So an opinion at that point was kind of like, girl, you don't have one. So I had to say to myself, is this something that I want to invest my time in? Because I was just like, I don't want to date nobody, no military, you know, like whatever, you know, just wet my cup of tea. But, you know, God saw otherwise. And after I had married Todd, and when I was dating him and I kind of knew that we were going to get married, you just know. Women kind of just have that feeling. They just know, you know. And he kind of threw hints and told me, and not really told me, but, you know, your ring sign and all this and all that. But, yeah, so I kind of knew it was coming. But I didn't grow up in the military because by that time my parents were separated or whatever. He was already out of the military. But I come from a family of military people. My granddaddy was in World War I. My uncles, my dad, my cousins, my brother is married. And I say he's successful on his own. You know, a lot of people say that, oh, when you're married to somebody in the military, the spouse does nothing. Incorrect. Not this one. Not my family. I don't know about you. But we work. And his wife has been in the military for a very long time. And if you look at it, you'd be like, girl, she don't even look like she would chip a nail, you know. But she's military, and she's an awesome sister-in-law. And if she's watching, I love you. And I love my baby Ellis, my nephew. He'll be 1 October the 26th. The next question was, did I answer the other question? I think I did, but I didn't have an opinion about him. You know, it was just my decision to either proceed or invest time in it. And it eventually led to that, and it led to us being married. So, and here we are. Where did your spouse go to basic training? He went to basic training at Fort Seals, Oklahoma. Has your spouse ever been deployed? No. He has not been deployed. I'm happy about that. He hasn't been deployed his military career. He hasn't. He hasn't been in like super long, and he hasn't like just, you know, got in. He's been in for a couple of years. So he hasn't been deployed, and I'm so happy. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he is in the medical field. He works in the hospital. He's very, 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 very well known in the hospital. So he is like the best. And yeah, so he's kind of, you know, good on that part. So, and let's just hope that he doesn't, but I know at some point it probably will become a time that he does. So when it does, we will deal with it when it does. So on to the next question. Have you ever been to his promotion ceremonies? No, I have not, because some of them were before we got in a relationship. But he does have one coming up, and I will be present to gut punch them. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I will be there to support, as I always am. Did you marry before or after he joined the military? No, we were not married before. We were married after he... Spencer, sit down, buddy. Sit. But we were married after, not before. The next question is, how did your husband propose? Well, I had no clue, okay? It's kind of a funny story, but to kind of just walk you through with me, the day before the wedding, we went home because we were going home just to visit my family. At the time when I lived in Atlanta, it was only about 4 hours away. Currently it's 7. And we're at like the equal mark for both of us, because it's 7 hours to go to his family and then it's 7 for mine. So, but at the time in Atlanta, it was 4. And we went home. We went out with my parents, with my mom and my stepdad and some more family members. We were just like having a good time. And I'm just like, what is up with this dude? Like, yo, son, what's up? And so we went inside this jazz club, and you know, guys are gonna look, women are gonna look. It's just life. It's nothing you can do about it. Just always be respectful of the other person. Don't invade anyone else's space, and you'll be good. So they were checking me out. You know, women was checking him out. You know, that's just how it is. And the whole night he was acting very funny. He not funny like, you know, like stank, but funny like I'm nervous, you know, about something, and I just didn't know what it was. And so he was just like, babe, do you love me? Like, you know, I just want you to know that I love you so much. And I'm like, yeah, babe, I love you. Like, why are we talking about this? And we're at a jazz place, we're enjoy ourselves. And so I was sitting on his lap, and he was just so touchy-feely, huggy, kissing me on my cheek. Like, it didn't dawn on me. It just didn't. So my mom was sitting across from the other side, and she was just laughing. I had no idea, but she already knew. So the next time we went to church, we had a little disagreement about something. And I was just like, okay, well, I don't even want to go to church now. Like, I don't want to go because you just irritated me. But we went because it was the right thing to do. And God can take all the frustrations away. So we went in, and the pastor was preaching about love and, you know, when love speaks, and the message was about love. And so after the pastor got through preaching, the pastor recognized Todd, and I'm like, why is he calling you? up to the pulpit, you know. But I knew Todd had talked about, you know, just being a person of positivity and, you know, mentoring and all that stuff. So it was kind of like, okay, maybe he's going up there to say something about that. I don't know. You know, it still didn't dawn on me. So he went up there. He gave this spiel. If we could find that video, because it was recorded. So he proposed to me in the church. So he went up to the podium and he gave his story about how life, full circle, God bringing him into the military and all this. And then he said, you know, Pastor, I know you said, well, what is love? What is love to you? And if it's love, prove it. And he said, well, let me prove it. At that point, I knew when he said, let me prove it, I knew that he was going to propose. And my legs locked up. I could not get up out my seat. My family was around me. And I'm like, why are y'all here today? And they were just like, oh, we just coming to visit Maria, which is my grandmother. You know, I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. Because I think it was like leading up to a holiday. I don't remember. It was like March 8th. I was proposed to of last year. And he said, Tasha, come here. And I could not get up. Like, my legs locked. So he had to come over to where I was, get on his knees, propose to me. My cousin was on the side of me. She crying. I'm like, why is you crying? And then I started crying. And then everybody was crying. And so I finally got up and I paused because I couldn't walk. My legs just locked again. So it was a beautiful day. And I was very happy. And the best thing about it is it went down in the church. It didn't go down in the DM. It went down in the church. Okay? So I was happy about that. Where did you guys get married? Well, we got married in my hometown. At a beautiful place. It was so beautiful. I'm going to try to insert some pictures here on this video. So y'all can see just some snippets of it until I can get the video back, because I hadn't got it back yet. So I need to check on it. The next question is, did he wear his uniform on his wedding day? Nope. He had on a suit. It's actually right up here. I'm going to let you guys kind of take a look. That's us, that's me, and that's him. And he had on a blue suit. It was like a pretty blue, but yeah, he had on that. And I had on an ivory satin dress. Beautiful. I love that dress. Everywhere I went, it kept coming back to me when I was trying on dresses. So the third time I was like, because I described what I wanted, something classic, simple, and elegant. And that dress kept coming to me every single store. So at that point, I knew that that was the one for me. Where are you and your spouse stationed at? Well, we're currently in Boren, Clarksville, Tennessee. The country of the country. That's where we're located currently. But hopefully that will be changing. But yeah, we make the best of it, you know. We have a lot of friends that we've met here, you know, in different fraternities and sororities. And we have a good time with them. And we're going to be hanging out in Nashville this weekend. Going to Chris Tucker's comedy show. So we'll be there. And I will be bringing you nothing but fabulousness in the outfits of the days. But yeah, do you live on base? No. I wanted to have a normal as possible life and not be so on a leash with the military, even though we already are. But I wanted to have some type of normalcy in my life. So I wanted to stay off base, and that's what it was. And we decided, and that's how we rock. How long were you married before going through your first separation? We haven't been through any separations. As stated earlier, we are still together until that time comes. I can't answer that question. What is your favorite base so far? I don't have a favorite base so far. But the base that I did visit him and he came to see me when we were dating was Fort Gordon in Augusta, Georgia. I really did like that base. He had a lot of family there. I hung out with him. Everybody was super duper nice and welcomed me with I already fit in before I even knew him, you know. But yeah, I like that one. You know, it was very well neat and it was more modern. Here, I'm like, oh my God. But yeah. Do you think your spouse looks good in his uniform? Okay, I'm gonna insert a picture, but regardless if you think so or not, I do. I think he looks scrumptious, delicious, awesome, sexy, all those things. Like, who wouldn't? It's like asking me, do I need water? Yeah, I do to survive. Yeah, but he does. Do you think military life is more advanced than civilian? I don't know how to answer that question. I think it all depends. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. So I think it's more strict. You don't have you don't really have any say-so when you're in the Army. You just go pick up that cup. You're going to go pick up that cup. You know, like, it's very, this is what you signed up for. I give the orders and you have to follow them. Civilian, you have leeway. You have do at your own if you want to or not, or you suffer the consequences of losing your job. Like, they can't call in and be like, oh, I'm sick. No, unless it's approved from the doctor, but you have to go. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's how you want me to answer. I don't know. It's great, you know. Who would not want to have the option to not have to pay for health care? By me working in health care, it is very important to have health care and coverage because, you know, we need it, you know. If you want to enjoy the quality of life, you definitely need to take care of yourself and have health care. So that ends my, oh, is it here? Right here. I think I'm going to do this one. Military tag, baby. So, if you have any questions, comment, rate, and subscribe. I'm sure there's some newbies coming into the military. I got another video coming up with pros and cons. I'm probably going to shoot it next for you guys. I don't know. We'll see. I need to kind of free up some space anyway on my phone. So, yeah, that will end it. And as always, enjoy your day. Be productive. Do something memorable. And have a great day. Subscribe, subscribe,